Hi there, my name is Cole, and in today's video, the weird fluffy mic thing has returned. Actually, in today's video, we're going to be designing and building the Porsche 911 993 generation in Lego. Before we get to that, if you're watching this video like a couple weeks after it came out, you can skip this part, but if you're watching this video immediately after it has been released, you may be wondering about the very large gap of time between this video and the last video, and it is simply just because I have been incredibly busy over the summer, and now we are getting back to making videos, hopefully relatively frequently. Actually, relatively frequently now that I think about it. And so yeah, let's get on with the video. Let's design the 993 911. Before we get started, if you'd like to build this model yourself, this model, not that model is not done yet. The instructions are available at the website at the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, go do that. I like to think that they're well done because they look kind of like other instructions made by people who know what they're doing. So if you'd like to build this yourself, go check them out. And now that we got that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Before we get started, a bit of information on the 993 911 specifically. Anyway, the 993 911 produced sometime in the 90s. I'm not even going to bother looking it up because I assume nobody watching the video cares, unless you own one, in which case, I'm sorry. But the 993 generation 911, as it is known to most enthusiasts of 911s, I guess, or Porsches, it was the last water-cooled 911, which is probably a fact that most people watching this video don't really care about, because you either already know it or you don't care about it, but never mind. It is, however, a really good looking 911, and the reason I built it is that this is yet another car that exists in real life, which you often see with the GT2 RS, which I built a while back. In fact, that's quite a while back now at this point. But yeah, I wanted to build the 993 to go with it, as you see the two cars together in real life. At least if you see the cars at all, you sometimes see them together in real life, and so I figured I wanted to build the 993 to go with the GT2 RS. Also, I should mention my lapel mic that I always used broke, and so that's why I have the weird fluffy mic on me today. Hopefully I can replace it so I don't have to hold this weird distracting thing for the rest of the existence of this channel, but yeah, we want that good audio, so you got the weird looking mic. So this model was designed entirely in Studio, which is the free digital building software which I use to build basically all my models. It is free to download, so if you'd like to try it yourself, I'll link to it down below. And this model was actually one of the easiest models I think I've ever designed, which is not to say that it's not a complex model or not a good looking model, but it came together rather quickly, which is always kind of nice because, I don't know, I don't like to take 3 months when I'm designing one of these models. So let's go through the design process with a relatively good pace. Sometimes I take extremely long with this, and sometimes I do this extremely quickly, so I don't know, let me know what you guys like to see. I started with the rear, and the rear of the 993 is not the easiest thing to recreate in Lego. It's quite rounded, and there's a lot of like layers going on with the taillight, or at least there's a lot of like weird shape detail going on. So I made several variations, which you can see here. Eventually I settled on this, which uses some very interesting offset building. We have a tile that's sideways, so you can put a license plate there if you want. We have these round plate which form the exhausts, which I wouldn't normally think to use, but the 993 Carrera, at least the standard one, has these very kind of weird round exhausts. I mean, they fit the 993 really well, so they don't look that weird. And then we have the odd stud width light bar in there, which I think looks pretty cool. And then we have some like slopes and stuff to shape off the top of that. Then we come to maybe my favorite part of the whole model, which is the rear canopy slash, I guess, engine cover area. And it's just this one kind of big upright build, which is then put on the hinge and just tilted backward, and it lines up super nicely with the rear. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It took a little bit of like adjusting to get this at the right height and to make it all connect properly, but I think it looks really good. This does make for really thick, probably overly thick B pillars. I guess these might be C pillars now that I think about it. But either way, I think the whole assembly just looks cool, and so I'm happy the way it is. The sides of the model are pretty simple. They're just this sideways stack plate assembly with some slopes and tiles on top, and that's just like basically slapped on the side with brackets. There is a little bit of bracket work in the back here to get this fender flare. Other than that, it's quite simple. Then we move on to the front, which is definitely the most maybe overcomplicated part of this model. The headlights are, well, pretty standard to most 911 models in Lego, which is just the 1x1 round tile and transparent that's on some modified plates that just hinge it backward. Then we have the front bumper, which is actually like an offset height compared to the rest of the car. And the reason it is that so the headlights line up with the fenders, and the grille kind of just lines up entirely in the front here. And this required this incredibly complicated assembly, which I think may be overcomplicated, but I'm not sure how to simplify it, and so it is the way it is, and it works fine. It's relatively strong. The hood is an interesting assembly of tiles, and then some slopes in the front which are offset using some round plates. And then we have some more corner tiles up here to represent these kind of weird intake-y things on the real car. And surprisingly, that all makes for a somewhat clean looking front end design, which I was rather happy with. And then for the interior, this car has a gray interior in real life, so I replicated that here. and it's pretty simple. There's not much to it, and there's not a lot of space using this windscreen, which is angled backwards with a hinge. So the interior is relatively cramped. And then we have the roof, which is very simply just some tiles, which are hinged back to kind of match up with the rear window. And then you have some brackets in between to fill that gap there. And so that's pretty much it for the design of this model. And with that, that is it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's good to be making videos again. I'm excited because I'm like, yeah, we're gonna make some sick videos now. Oh well, I'm kind of hyped, and I'm kind of tired as well, but that's another topic that we don't cover on this channel. Anyway, check out the website, whether you want to buy the instructions or not. It looks kind of cool, so maybe you should. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be quite a few more coming soon, and hopefully I will see you next time. Actually, that's not the right word usage there. It should be, I hope I will see you next time.